So here's a quick rundown of my Plugdata project, Spectral Array Mod. The core idea here is that it lets you control multiple FFT-based effects using the 4 arrays at the bottom of the interface. Each array has a specific function. The first one controls the volume of each frequency bin, the second array sets the gate threshold for each bin, and the third and fourth arrays adjust the feedback and mix level of a spectral delay effect. The modulation parameters are the same for all 4 arrays, so I'll explain how that works first. Then I'll explain the additional parameters that some of the effects have. Within each array, there are 3 values per bin. 2 of them are static points that define the minimum and maximum values. The third value is the one that actually gets used in the processing chain, and it can be modulated with the HMod and VMod sliders. As the name implies, they control the horizontal and vertical positions of the points. For vertical movement, you have 2 modes, which you can toggle using the V-warp switch. One mode makes the points bounce back when they hit the boundaries, while the other mode makes them wrap around to the opposite side of the array. To set the shape of the modulating points, you use the basic shape mix sliders above the mod controls. One important thing to note is the saw mix slider controls the level for all other shapes, so if you want to create, say, a sine wave, you need to increase the saw mix first. You can also introduce some randomness with the noise mix, and the intensity of that noise can be adjusted with the noise amp and noise speed parameters. You can control the frequency and the phase of the oscillator shapes as well. The minimum slider adjusts the lower limit of the array, and this value stays the same across the entire spectrum. However, there are a variety of ways to set the maximum points. You can make it uniform, like the minimum using the vertical slider to the left of each array, generate a random shape with the Rand A button, or draw directly onto the array. If you want the precision with the maximum values for the minimum values, you can switch their functionalities with the invert button. Like I said earlier, these parameters apply to all 4 arrays, but the gate, feedback, and dry-wet arrays have some additional controls. The gate array is the most straightforward. There's an extra slider that sets the gate threshold, and the array itself determines how much of that threshold gets applied. For the feedback and dry-wet arrays, they modulate a spectral delay effect, and you'll find the timing controls for that delay in the upper right-hand corner of the interface. This time array works differently because it's static, and like the gate array, the values in the array are relative to the max time slider. The points in the lower array let you set the time for logarithmically scaled groups of points. The upper array will show a line as well as some points, with the line representing the true delay values based on those groups. Both of the arrays can also be set to uniform values using the number boxes above them. And lastly, there's a global quantized parameter that locks the modulations to your DAW's BPM, and quantizes the spectral delay to 8th note divisions.